The countdown is on to Election Day as we are now less than 11 days away. The presidential and vice presidential candidates are making their way across North Carolina to try to earn your vote. Thank you for joining us here at 5. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Both First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and Republican Vice Presidential candidate JD Vance spent time in North Carolina today. They're campaigning for the Democratic and Republican parties.
We have team coverage tonight with Monica Casey in Raeford and Laura Leslie in Fayetteville. We begin with Monica, where JD Vance was first to make a stop in that area this afternoon. Monica, what are some of the key points he touched on?
Senator Vance spoke about fentanyl, immigration, and the economy here today. We also asked him about voter access over in Western North Carolina.
Oh, look at this guy. Isn't that cool?
Lots of fanfare in Hoke County for vice presidential candidate JD Vance. Voters like retired Raeford resident Ronnie Cook tell me their top issues are immigration and the economy.
Luckily, we've got a neighbor behind us that raises chickens, so we don't have to pay for the egg price, but everything else is just up. And when you're on a retired budget, you're looking 5 years down the road.
Senator Vance spoke about growing America's economy.
Donald Trump and I believe that we can have clean air, we can have clean water, and we can also have a growing economy that creates prosperity for all. Cut out the ridiculous regulations and focus on prosperity.
Vance also criticized the federal government's response to Helene.
How concerned is the Trump campaign over voting access in Western North Carolina after Hurricane Helene? And do you believe in that case that if Harris wins, this state's results should be challenged?
Should the state results be challenged? I think that what we should try to do instead is make sure that every voter's vote counts in the state of North Carolina. Now, I've talked to the state GOP chairman. I've talked to the national GOP chairman. I think that we're in a pretty good spot in Western North Carolina.
From here, Vance was headed down to Union County for a town hall style meeting later tonight. Live in Raeford, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
All right, Monica, thank you. Now to WRAL's Laura Leslie, who is where First Lady Jill Biden wrapped up her campaign event about an hour ago. Laura, what message did she want to share?
Here in Fayetteville, Jill Biden's event was all about motivating people in this military community to get out, knock on doors, make phone calls, and get people out to vote. Harris is running just 1 point behind Trump in the recent polls in North Carolina. That's within the margin of error. And in a race that tight, every vote really does count.
We have to meet this moment as if our rights are at stake, because they are.
Stumping for Kamala Harris in Fayetteville, First Lady Jill Biden reminded the crowd that Donald Trump has called military heroes suckers and losers. She said Harris will support military families by working to lower the cost of living, taking care of veterans, and signing a bill to ensure abortion rights across the country.
This is especially important for military families. You shouldn't have to worry that the care you need might be banned at your next duty station.
Tanetta Everett came out to the event today to see Biden and to get campaign training. She'll be knocking on doors this weekend to get out the vote.
I'm here to stand in the gap for my daughters, my future grandchildren, to make sure that we don't drop the ball. Change is needed.
The race is within a point in North Carolina, and both sides have been fighting hard this week. Trump was in Asheville, Greenville, and Charlotte Tuesday and Greensboro Wednesday. JD Vance is holding rallies in Raeford and Monroe today. Tim Walz spoke in Durham, Greenville, and Wilmington yesterday. Jill Biden is appearing in Asheville, Fayetteville, and Cary today. Bill Clinton rallied in Raleigh Sunday. Doug Emhoff was in Carrboro Tuesday. And former President Barack Obama will hold a rally in Charlotte tonight. You know, all this attention does seem to be working. Nearly 30% of registered voters in North Carolina have already cast a ballot in this election during early voting. That is a record. And there are still 8 days left. Election day, don't forget, is November 5th. Laura Leslie, WRAL News, live in Fayetteville.
And all eyes will be on North Carolina. Develop a plan to vote using the WRAL voter guide. Enter your address to find a sample ballot for your area. Our Q&A with candidates. Check your voter registration and early voting times and places. You can even make sure your vote was valid after you vote. Go to WRAL.com and search vote.